Have you ever walked into a room full of people laughing, talking, existing together and yet felt completely alone? Not because they ignored you, not because you were shy, but because you saw things they didn't, because you thought in ways that made them uncomfortable. Because every time you tried to connect, it felt like shrinking yourself just to be understood. This is the dark truth about why smart people feel alone. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The first thing no one tells you about being smart is this: awareness is a curse. When your mind processes faster, goes deeper, and sees patterns others don't, you don't just know more, you feel more. You see through more, you question more. While others are content with surface answers, you're drowning in the complexity beneath. Imagine living in a world where everyone happily drinks from the surface of the water, but you can't help but dive in and see everything lurking underneath. The lies, the hypocrisy, the fragile egos hiding behind confidence. And suddenly, small talk becomes torture. Friendships feel transactional. Relationships feel hollow. You don't feel superior, you just feel detached. And that detachment becomes a silent prison. There's a kind of loneliness that isn't about being alone. It's about being misunderstood. Smart people often think in layers, but they quickly learn that most conversations don't have room for nuance. So what do? You laugh at jokes you don't find funny. You nod along even when you see the holes in logic. And over time, you begin to wonder, is there something wrong with me for thinking differently? But here's the truth. You're not broken. You're just speaking a different language in a world that values simplicity over depth. And every time you silence yourself to fit in, a part of you goes quiet inside. The smarter you are emotionally, the more isolated you can feel. Because you're aware of people's motives. You sense when someone's being fake. You read between the lines even when it hurts. You can see the masks someone wears, and sometimes that makes it impossible to love the person underneath. People say they want truth, but most can't handle the mirror you unintentionally hold up to them. So they pull away. They say you're too intense, or too sensitive, or too much. And slowly, you learn to retreat. Not because you don't care, but because caring feels like bleeding in a world that prefers Band-Aid. You start asking yourself, why can't I just be normal? Why do I always overthink everything? Why does no one see me for who I am? It's not arrogance. It's the pain of having so much to say, but feeling like every word has to be filtered or hidden just to be palatable. You wonder if anyone will ever truly get you. Not just tolerate you, but meet you. Soul to soul, mind to mind, without needing you to shrink or simplify yourself to fit their mold. That longing, that's not ego. That is the deepest part of you asking, is there a place in this world where I can just be me? They tell you intelligence is a gift, and yes, see it, but they don't tell you the rest. It isolates you. It makes you question everything, including your own worth. It gives you answers no one asked for, and insights no one's ready to hear. Smart people often become the silent observers, loved for their usefulness, feared for their depth, ignored for their truth. They are the ones who stay up at night wondering about life, death, meaning, and existence, while others scroll, sleep, and forget. But the greatest cost is believing you have to carry that burden alone. Just maybe you're not alone. Maybe there are others, quiet, watchful, waiting just like you. The ones who feel too much, think too deeply, love too carefully. This video found you for a reason, because somewhere deep down, you needed to hear this. Your mind is not a curse. Your solitude is not failure. Your depth is your beauty, hidden but real. And even if the world doesn't always understand you, that doesn't mean your value is any less. Sometimes, it just means you were never meant to belong everywhere, only in places real enough to meet you where you truly are. So don't dim your light just to fit in someone else's shadow. The right ones will see you. And when they do, you'll realize you were never really alone, just waiting to be found by someone who thinks like you do.